This video contains super awesome content not suitable for people who don't enjoy super awesomeness.
We have the last story. It's another crazy one. We have a plumber.
He chilling in that coffin.
The plumber, he went
Another
to
plumber.
those regular jobs. Yeah, he went to do a normal regular job. And make a long story short,
What?
he ended up he solved 2 murders.
Wow.
Yeah, so with that being said, let's check out the video.
Shout out to all those plumbers out there, man.
Shout out to them boys, man. Appreciate y'all for doing y'all jobs.
Hell yeah, man.
Communications.
I'm a plumber and I'm on site for a job, and we got we're snaking a drain, and we've been pulling back. We probably pulled back about 10 pounds, 15 pounds of like it looks like flesh type of stuff, meat, and we don't know what it is.
When these plumbers were called out to a quiet Ontario neighborhood in December 2017, they expected it to be a routine job. A blocked drain is usually a simple fix. The plumbers brought their drain snake with them, an essential plumbing tool made up of a long wire with a corkscrew end. If the blockage wasn't substantial, it shouldn't have taken them longer than an hour with this specialist tool. But they encountered a problem. After several days of blocked pipes, the neighbors were getting antsy. They wanted a quick and easy fix to the problem.
Yes, I did.
But what the plumbers discovered in the drains was anything but quick and easy. Their gruesome discovery would have police descending upon the area, turning it into a crime scene. The plumbers had discovered evidence of a grisly murder with far-reaching consequences, and body parts callously flushed down the toilet.
What?
This is the chilling story of Adam Strong.
Not Adam
Let's
Strong.
start with Rory Hache. She was born in July 1999 in Oshawa, a quiet suburb in Ontario, Canada. She was a bright and spirited kid with a fondness for animals and the elderly. She kept herself busy outside of school as an army cadet, and by the age of 13, she had a year title twice. But when she entered high school a year later, things took a turn for the worse. As a 14-year-old freshman, she was offered crystal meth.
Oh, Lord.
She accepted in what would go on to be a years-long struggle with addiction as only a teenager.
How old?
Rory came from a troubled
14.
background. Her grandfather was Bernie Gwindon, otherwise known as Bernie the Frog, the founder of Satan's Choice Motorcycle Club, which was for a time the second largest biker club in the world. As an outlaw biker with drug and assault convictions, he'd served 22 years in prison and had had anywhere between 11 and 16 children. One of these was Rory's uncle, Harley Davidson Gwindon, who owned a clothing store in Oshawa. Rory and her uncle were close. Harley himself was a Hells Angels biker with a history of drug offenses and a tattoo on his back that announced his fight record in prison: 41 wins and no losses.
Oh, Lord.
Still, he had a soft spot for his teenaged niece. In 2016, when she was 17, she lived with Harley and his family when he was under house arrest on drug charges. Rory's mother, Shannon Dion, had reported herself to the Children's Aid Society because she thought it was the only way of getting Rory the help she needed with her addiction. The services didn't help, but Rory was able to turn her life around on her own. The last 6 months of her life were positive ones. Rory had a boyfriend, Tony, and even her own apartment. Harley had recently given her and her mother $1,000 to help with living expenses. But Rory had found a job of her own and had gone back to school. Things were looking up. In August 2017, her aunt, Michelle Gwindon, took her to a drugstore to buy a pregnancy test. It came back positive. Rory was pregnant, and she wanted to keep the baby. She was looking forward to motherhood. But it was at the end of that same month that things would go horribly wrong. On August 10th, there was an unexplained fire in Rory's mother's house. It injured Shannon and killed her dog. This might have been the
Hello.
I'm here.
Okay. Oh, Rory got it going on.
That she had relapsed and they said she was doing better.
Is she
A few
like
days
18
before
now?
the end of August, Harley
What?
met with Rory and noticed something different about her. She didn't want to talk about what was going on with her and seemed cornered, secretive. He described her hug as heartbreaking, the largest hug she'd ever given him, a hug that felt like a final goodbye.
Oh, Lord.
On August 29th, 2017,
Anyway.
Rory's friend and the friend's mom took her to the hospital. We don't know exactly the reason why, but she's been described as having had some sort of mental episode. They were captured on CCTV sitting in the waiting room. Rory's friend and the friend's mom were pictured exiting the hospital shortly afterwards, leaving Rory alone to wait.
What?
She sat in the waiting room for 15 minutes, but then she
That's
left
crazy.
before she could be examined by a doctor.
Pause.
She can be seen in this
Pause.
footage leaving the hospital on
Yep.
So you mean to tell me I'm having a psychotic episode, and these are my friends, and not only my friend and her mother. So at some point, regardless of how old my friend is and how much of a dumb adolescent they are, your motherly instinct should have kicked in. You never leave somebody at the hospital by
Exactly.
themselves.
By themselves, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, some people don't have that family sense, you know what I'm saying? They don't have that.
Like, why would I wouldn't want to do that too. I wouldn't want to a complete stranger to be at the hospital by themselves. Now, what I say,
Exactly. Yeah. If you
at a hospital,
there.
yeah, but like,
say you're
what?
responsible,
You
yeah,
my
you're-
friend, and you know I'm losing it.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
her own. This was the last time Rory Hache would be seen alive.
Oh Lord.
When she didn't show up at the refuge for a few days, her friends and guidance counselor began to get worried. Together with her family, they raised the alarm. Some people thought she had skipped town, reverting to old habits, but her closest family were sure she wouldn't do that now, whatever her recent troubles. She was pregnant and in a stable relationship. They knew something was wrong. And then on September 11th, 2017,
Lord.
her story took a horrifying turn. It was a pleasant evening in Oshawa Harbor, and a grandfather and his 11-year-old grandson were out fishing. Standing on the pier, they noticed something strange in the water. It appeared at first to be a piece of trash, so the pair cast their lines toward it to hook it and make the lake cleaner. After about half an hour of effort, they managed to reel it close enough that they could catch it in a net and haul it onto the pier. One of them recalls thinking it was an animal of some sort, maybe a chicken. But the anglers would soon realize the truth was far worse. The grandfather recalls saying, "I think that's a body."
Oh Lord.
$0 down and 100% financing available.
That is
Replace your
insane.
old or leaky
I would
roof.
immediately start throwing up.
The
feel
item
me?
drawn in from the lake was, in fact, a female torso. When the police arrived, they determined it showed signs of trauma and that it had been deliberately severed from the rest of the body.
What?
Somebody killed a woman and dumped her remains. We are live over the Oshawa Harbor. Good evening. The busy spot along the waterfront is now a disturbing crime scene.
The discovery made by a fisherman and his grandson. They saw a torso in the water.
Lots of questions tonight, very few answers. Who was this woman? Where did she come from? Who wanted her dead?
Police took the torso away to be identified.
We would probably reach out to other services to see if there are any unsolved missing person investigations.
But Lake Ontario was a huge area, and the police couldn't rule out that it had been carried to Oshawa from somewhere else. The absence of the pelvis from the torso made identification more difficult, and the condition of the torso made it difficult to determine whether the victim had been pregnant or not.
Okay, make a long
It
story
took
short,
until
let me
November
push it a little bit
10th, nearly
more.
2 months.
There you go. Let me
Strong
push it a
had
little
been
more.
renting for over a decade, so the plumbers knocked on Strong's door. The basement suite was filled with a nauseating
That's the dork
stench.
right here. He's the one that
Strong
committed this
seemed
crime.
nervous, commenting
Who
that
is-
the state
okay,
of
who
the
is that to
drains
her?
was vile. And as we know,
Yeah, he the one
as the
that did it.
plumbers snaked the pipes,
that
they
to
found
her?
something awful.
Nobody. He was just a neighbor.
I've never seen that. I'm thinking you gotta be solved. Everything is here.
What?
Just a neighbor, yeah.
I didn't understand a word that he
Knife
said.
by the bed. Mumbo jumbo.
That's not funny.
I think she was so frustrated. Couldn't even talk.
The police
Yeah, she was,
arrived
like,
shortly
flabbergasted.
afterwards. They suspected that the material coming out of the pipes was human flesh. The plumbers were horrified by what they'd stumbled upon and the awareness that they'd spent so many hours in contact with this man. Because when the police knocked on Strong's door, he opened it and said almost immediately, "The jig's up, it's a body." They arrested him instantly.
Yeah.
While in the
look how
squad
he
car
looked.
outside,
Yeah.
he continued to be
In the
talkative.
basement.
He said, "If you want the rest of her,
Lord.
she's in my freezer, and she's pretty
He been waiting to
defleshed."
confess, apparently.
With a mounting feeling of horror, the officers opened the freezer. Inside it, they found various severed body parts. These included a human head. On the neck was tattooed the word "alive," the same tattoo Rory had had. These were Rory Hache's body parts.
Oh, God.
Her autopsy revealed multiple facial injuries and 2 fractures. The exact cause of death was not certain. She had drugs in her system, but there was no way of determining the quantity. It was also suggested that she might have been strangled or died from blunt force trauma. Whatever the case, she had died in a horrible attack.
You said to the officers,
He
if you're
kind of
looking for the rest of her,
her.
you'll find her in the freezer. My question to you is the person in that freezer, Rory? I decline to answer that question. I was told these things go on for like hours.
They even let
Not
him
sure.
talk. Beat the shit out of him.
The police didn't get anywhere interviewing Strong, though he'd previously been talkative, almost bragging about the human remains found on his property. So they turned back to his apartment to
What
search for
state is
more
this
evidence.
happening in?
It was extremely messy
I
and
forgot
cluttered. They found a number of restraining devices and adult toys,
Canada.
alongside weapons like a hammer. On this hammer, they found Rory's DNA. They found Rory's running shoes in a plastic bag with what appeared to be blood spatter on them. They also found blood spatter on the wall and the bottom baseboards leading into Strong's bedroom. There was evidence of other crimes too. Strong's online search history documented his obsession with extreme gore and death. This interest had crossed over into the real world in alarming ways.
That's an animal.
They found an undetonated
Real.
pipe bomb, which the bomb squad had to be called to detonate.
He live in the basement. Bored. Killing people.
Tonight, a loud bang in the heart of an Oshawa neighborhood, the controlled explosion of a suspicious package at the scene of a suspicious death investigation for Durham Regional Police.
Perhaps most damningly, they also found a specialty knife in the knife drawer. It was the sort of knife used by hunters to cut and skin animals. The sort of knife that could have been used for Rory's dismemberment. They checked this knife for Rory's DNA, but what they found on it would blow this case wide open. It was the DNA of another victim. This second victim was 19-year-old Candace Fitzpatrick. Candace was born in 1989. Not much is known about her, except for her similarities to Rory. She, too, was often out.
Oh, I think she liked those kind of people. She just liked to kill them. Oh my God, what
crazy.
a weird world, man.
That's crazy.
The world is weird.
What?
That's in Canada.
Like, how did he find her? Like, after she left the hospital, what took place for them to cross paths? They were neighbors.
Yeah, even the people, they don't really know. I think from what they saying, it seems like he kidnapped them and then go do what he got to do.
Seems like it. It seems like he picked her up or something when she left that hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, he preys on those.
And what do you? What? Okay, so my question would be, what is going through your mind as you're doing it?
My bad. What did you say, Koza? Sorry.
Like, what is going through your mind as you're doing this?
Oh, like somebody like him? We'll have to interview somebody like that. But most of them, they don't care. They just have nothing to live for, you know?
How did we get to this place in time? Like, what are we? That's crazy. I would be like, where did this start?
Some people don't care, man. They don't give a fuck.
That's crazy.
He probably has more. It's probably more bodies out there too from him.
Yeah, that's probably more than that. Anyways, there's the last part.
Go to bed. His arrogance did not endear him to the court, and on March 16, 2021, after many delays, Strong was convicted of 1 count of first-degree murder for killing Rory Hache and 1 count of manslaughter in Candace Fitzpatrick's death. This was all the more remarkable without Candace's body and without a confession to either killing. But the confession to dismemberment was F. Count of murder carried an automatic life. Signing in July 2021, the location of Candace's remains. Taken to the location, which was an intersection in Oshawa. Her body. Remains and offer her family closure.
We're barely surviving after going through this. I couldn't imagine 10 years, you know. And in person, there's no way that they did not report that child, you know. They're good-hearted people. They're hurt, they're crushed. It's very hard to accept that this happened so close to the police station, close to the downtown core, you know. Right. I've lived in Oshawa 43 years. I was born and raised here. I never thought we had to worry about problems like this here. We had some bad people, but not sent straight from the pit of hell. You know what I mean? So I don't know how to feel about anything other than right now. I'm most blessed by the work the detectives have done and their superiors and everything that's been put into this. I do not get the attitude. He's guilty of nothing in his mind. He's already judged, tried, and convicted himself of being guilty of nothing. You know what I mean? I don't have any words for this guy. I don't have any names to call him. I don't have any words for him other than, you know, maybe think about doing the right thing for this city and my family and all my friends that will never be the same again because this has slaughtered us all.
Strong's sentence will be especially dangerous for him. Rory's family connection to biker gangs, including notorious outlaw biker Bernie Gwindon, founder of Satan's Choice Motorcycle Club, means that people on the inside will be gunning for Strong as the man who killed their leader's granddaughter. One convict said, "You can't kill the granddaughter of somebody connected to the Hells Angels. It all gets down to that. You can't kill a biker's granddaughter and get away with it." But we still don't know exactly how Strong met these women or why he murdered them. The prosecution theorized that these were crimes of opportunity, that Strong ran into Candace and Rory on the street and kidnapped them.
There you go.
He still has not revealed the truth. What's most disturbing is the decade-long gap between his first kill and his second, and the question of what he might have done in between.
Hello.
What do you think about this horrible story?
How the hell did he get away for so long? That's the question.
Because over there in Canada, it seems like they don't really think crime is going on. That's what I'm picking up.
Hello, you seen how that security guard just stood there as Rick Ross and his homies got meleeed all up and through the down there to the Kendrick Lamar concert, apparently.
That was definitely a fray. In the United States, it would be called a fray, a fight, right? All of them arrested.
Yes, they would have been pepper sprayed. They would have
all
been
of
everything. That. They wouldn't have been that close.
I don't think Canada thinks that crime exists because everyone there is so nice. They just don't see it. It's crazy.
And Canada, if we are misinformed, send for us. We'd like to experience your country.
Yes, exactly. We just want to understand a little bit better. Like, you guys need to be on high alert.
At all times.
People leave from the United States to go there to run from shit.
Hello. And you know, with these borders open, they running straight from Mexico to Canada.
Yeah, definitely.
Straight through the U.S.
That's wild, man.
That's crazy. And he's standing there looking all nasty.
Wow, that is a fat dork. Talking to him. I'm not talking about fat people. Don't come for me in the
all the
conversation.
other ones.
I'm talking about him.
He a big back, y'all. He a big back. We just gonna call it like
Definitely.
Definitely.
Huge.
Oh
No,
my
he kind of looks like
God.
that guy from 60-Day Fiance.
And he gonna get his bitch, because you know it's still a lot of Hell's Angels locked up. You already know they ass gonna pop.
And you know they were serious about motorcycle. He named his son Harley Davidson Gibson.
Definitely, bitch. My granddaddy is involved with the Hell's Angels. Oh, I know I'm protected. Even when
Satan's riders, bro. They wasn't the Hell's Angels. They was riding with yellow.
Definitely, them bitches were they're notorious. They're the most notorious biker gang around. So
hello, period. and he founded them hoes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we might need to do some research and follow up. Where is Shy? Where is Shy? We need her research.
Right.
Appreciate you, brother.
29, what's up?
What's happening?
29,
what's happening, my brother?
29. Yes, sir. And big shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Appreciate y'all, man. Don't forget with us tomorrow, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Every day, Wednesday, 8 p.m. We always live, man.
We got the
Tune
good,
in with us.
juicy
We
stories
appreciate
over
y'all.
here.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, we out.
Yes, sir. Chicken.
All right,
I
bro.
appreciate you. We lit.
Yeah.